Good morning friends, I am Ausal sir. I am teaching economics in Sadhguru Kadge Maharaj College, Kara. In my last lecture, we discussed about chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3, chapter number 4. What you are going to learn from these chapters. Now in this lecture, I am going to explain about the chapter number 5, chapter number 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Okay, see, listen carefully. Now, what is there in chapter number 5? Explain the meaning, definition and significance of rural development. Now you know that India is a country where almost 70%, 65 to 75% people, they are living in villages. So rural development is very important for our country. So it is important to learn what is there, what is the significance of rural development. We are going to learn all these things in this chapter number 5. Again, here explain the classification of agricultural credit on the basis of purpose and the tenure. Agricultural credit. Now see, there are many farmers who are very poor. So they need some kind of loan from agricultural institution or from banks. So we are going to see all these things. What do you mean by agriculture credit and how the people or how the farmers they are going to take credit from or taking loans from banks in this point. Then again the point number 3, that is difference between institutional and non-institutional source of credit. From where you can take some kind of credit, from where you can take loans. So we are going to discuss all these points here, difference between institutional and non-institutional credit. Point number 4, that is assess the role of various agriculture finance institutions. In India, the special attention is given towards agriculture credit. All government, since from 1947 up till now, all governments they are interested to give much more importance to agriculture because Indian economy is based on agriculture. So it is very important to give more importance to agriculture. It is more important. It is very important to give some credit for farmers. Again, some help to farmers so that farmers they can take loan and they can use that loan for agriculture development. So it is here access the role of various agriculture finance institutions. Now you know that about the government banks, they are going to give some kind of funds to the farmers. Even NABARD is there, National Bank is there. Here government, state government also going to give some kind of funds to the farmers. In this point, we are going to see all these things. Okay, here chapter number 5 is there. Now what we are going to learn in chapter number 6? Chapter number 6, we are going to learn about, this chapter is going to see about explain the stages of population. In my last lecture, I mentioned that unemployment, poverty and population, these are main problems of our economy. You know that India is the second largest country in the world, having large population after China. So population, but there is some kind of differences there. China, they have got almost 7% of land, total world's land, and India we have got only 2.5% land. So on this 2.5% land, we are going to handle the world's second largest population. So there are many problems population. Here in this chapter, we are going to see about how the stages of population and how growth based on various census data. We are going to learn all these things in this chapter. Again, explain the factors responsible for population explosion in India. What are the factors which are responsible for population explosion? How we are going to control population explosion? Now we know that population, second largest population in the world. So it is very important for India to control the population. We are going to see all these things in this chapter. What are the stages or the factors which are responsible for population explosion in India? Again, next point is access various population policy measures to check population explosion. What are the policies are there? How government is going to control the population? What are the measures what are the stages that government is going to take to control the population? We are going to see all these points in here. Access various policy measures to check population explosion. Again, next point that is about the importance of human development index. Human development index is very important to check what kind of condition is there in your country about the human. So here in this point we are going to say about the importance of human development index. All countries it is important to give the human development index. United Nations organization is going to give such index where your countries. We are going to see all these points here where India is for human development index. We are going to see this point in chapter number 6. Again, chapter number 7, that is about the unemployment. What do you mean by unemployment? What are the causes of unemployment? What is the condition of India in unemployment? Explain the concept of unemployment. First point is explain the concept of unemployment is there. Again, next point is about the types of rural and urban unemployment. There is difference between rural unemployment and urban unemployment. Now see, rural problem people they are facing different problems, and urban people, they are facing different problems. So there should be some kind of difference between rural unemployment and urban unemployment. Okay, see, we are going to see all these points in chapter number 7. Again, major causes of unemployment in India. What are the major causes of unemployment in India? See, educational unemployment is also there, frictional unemployment is there. What are these types of unemployment and what are the causes of unemployment in India? Okay, every country problems are different. Unemployment problem in other developed countries are different, and again unemployment problem in underdeveloped countries are different. So we are going to see these points in this chapter, and again assess the various employment generation programs. How government is going to control unemployment, what are the measures that are going to be taken by government to control unemployment in India. Now you know that we are facing problem of COVID-19 situation. You might have learned, or you might have read something about the unemployment condition, because of these corona conditions many people, they are not getting jobs. So problems are there. So how government is going to tackle, or how government is going to handle such kind of problems, we are going to see all these things in chapter number 7. In chapter number 8 we are going to see about the poverty. Again, this is a very important chapter for you. Unemployment, population and poverty, these are very important chapters when we are going to discuss about the underdeveloping countries. Okay, here we are going to see about the what do you mean by poverty. Again, difference between what do you mean by absolute poverty and what do you mean by relative poverty. We are going to see this difference in this chapter. Again, here we are going to see about the what kind of urban poverty is there, what kind of rural poverty is there. Again, there is some kind of difference. Rural poverty is different than urban poverty. Okay, so in rural areas, villages, people, if they have some kind of limited money, they can live there. So their problem is different than urban poverty. Again, review the estimates of poverty. How you are going to estimate the poverty. We are going to see all these things in this point. And again, main important point, what are the causes of poverty? What are the main causes or major causes of poverty? See, poverty is there. We know that India, we are facing problem of poverty. But what are the causes? Again, you can make some kind of difference for rural poverty here also and urban poverty. So what are the causes, major causes of poverty? We are going to see this point in this chapter. And again, last point is about the access the various poverty elevation measures. How we are going to control the poverty? What are the steps that government is going to take to control poverty, or how it is important for government to raise the standard of living for the people? What stages are there? What steps the government is going to take to remove the poverty? We are going to see all these 3 points in chapter number 8. Again, second last chapter, that is about we are going to see about the economic policy of 1991. You know that in 1991 India opened our economy for other countries. So what stages are there, how we open our economy, all these points are there. Here in this chapter we are going to see about objectives of economic planning of 1991. Why this year is very important for you, 1991? Why I'm not going to take about 1981 or 1971? So 1991 India, this year is very important for Indian economy. Our Prime Minister that time, Dr. Manmohan Singh, is a well-known economist in the world. He was the Prime Minister at that time. In 1990 he was a Finance Minister at that time, 1991. P.V. Narasimha, he was a Prime Minister. So as a Finance Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, he opened our economy for other countries. So slowly and slowly the gates were open for other countries, so that the people from other or the companies from other countries, they come towards India and they have their business in India. So Indian economy, it was very strict up till 1991. We opened that economy slowly and slowly from 1991, and now you can see all major corporate offices in India. All, even you can take example of your mobile companies, Samsung, other countries. You can see Sony TV and other TVs. Here you can see all the corporate offices of all companies of the world in India. It's only because of 1990 policy. We are going to see each and everything in this chapter. Again, here we are going to see some new terms for you. What do you mean by liberalization? What do you mean by privatization? And what do you mean by globalization? We are going to discuss all these things. There is some kind of difference. Liberalization is different than privatization, privatization is different than globalization. So you are going to learn these terms. What do you mean by liberalization? What do you mean by privatization? What do you mean by globalization in this chapter? Again, from Indian point of view, point of view, we are going to discuss about the what measures undertaken for liberalization, globalization and privatization, or liberalization, privatization, globalization. What India adopted condition, what India adopted this policies for liberalization, what we adopted policies for liberalization, globalization and privatization. We are going to see all these points in this chapter. And last point, that is about the evaluation of economic policy of 1991. If you are going to evaluate about the 1919 policy, whether some plus points are there or some negative points are there, we are going to evaluate all these points in chapter number 9. And in last lecture I discussed about there are 10 chapters, and last chapter here we are going to see some important points regarding what do you mean by economic planning. In last lecture I mentioned that now in India from 1947 up to 2012 or 2013-14, it was planning commission was there. Planning commission, duty of planning commission is to give some kind of plan to the government, and government is going to do things according to that plan. But from this new government, Narendra Modi ji, our prime minister, he changed that situation. Now instead of planning commission, there is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is going to do all this condition economic planning for our country. Okay, in this chapter we are going to see what do you mean by definition of economic planning. What do you mean by economic planning? Why it is important? How India developed with the help of economic planning. You see, in last lecture I discussed that planning is very important. If you plan properly, then definitely there is chance of success. But if you are not going to make plan, there is chance of failure. So when you are going to invest your money, it is very important for you to see each and everything in detail. It is important for you to make some kind of plan. Without planning, you cannot do anything. So for country like India, we are in developing situation. So it is important for us to do planning properly, because money, the resources, very important resources, and we are struggling for this problem. So what money is available, it is important for our country to use that money properly. So for that, planning is very important. Here again we are going to see the features of economic planning. What are the features of economic planning? Why it is important? What are the features of economic planning? We are going to see this point in this chapter. Again here, targets and achievement of various 5-year plan. From 1951 there are some kind of plans for there. For example, 1951 to 1956, 56 to 61. These are the plans from number 1 to from number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 up to the planning commission of 5-year plans were there. So what are the targets, or what were the targets of planning these 5-year plans, whether we achieved that problem. Now for example, the first plan, the Mahalanobis plan, the Herald model is there. We accepted these models and we do economic planning according to these conditions. So we are going to see all these achievements of 5-year plan from 1947 up to 2012 or 2030. We are going to see every year, every 5 year, what we achieved, what were the targets, whether we accepted, whether we completed that targets. We are going to see all these points in this chapter. Again, what we are going to analyze the 12 flip plan number 12 flip, that is 12 plan. We are going to see 12 5-year plan, what are the achievements of 12 5-year plan, and what were the targets, whether we achieved that targets. We are going to see this point in chapter number 10. Again, the new thing, that is about the function of Niti Aayog. I explained that now in India there is no planning commission. Instead of planning commission, Niti Aayog is there. Niti Aayog is going to see Niti Aayog is going to have some kind of formulation of planning about the India. So what is the duty of Niti Aayog? How many members are there? How they are going to function? How they are going to plan for our economy? We are going to see all these points. Again, here there is comparison. We are going to compare about the framework of planning commission and about the Niti Aayog. So this chapter is also very important. So up till now I have discussed about all the things which are there from chapter number 4, chapter number 5, chapter number 6, chapter number 7 and chapter number 8. All these points are very important. So very briefly I have given you all the points which are there, or how we are going to study in this 11 year about the economics. So chapter number 1, chapter number 2, chapter number 3. This again chapter number 3, in my last lecture I mentioned that chapter number 3 is very important. Some statistics part is there, mean, median, mode is there. Again chapter number 4, where we are going to discuss about the Maharashtra, economy of Maharashtra, what kind of conditions are there. So everything, it is very important. So from chapter number 5, chapter number 6, chapter number 7, some problems which are related with our country, that is problem of unemployment, problem of poverty, problem of population. So you see, one important condition is that when we observe about the underdeveloping or developing countries, there is some kind of difference. Unemployment is there for developed countries also. Unemployment population problem is there for developed countries also, and again poverty problem is there for developed countries also. But their measures are different and their extent or percentage is very low compared to developing countries. The country like India, we are facing problem of unemployment, we are facing problem of population, we are facing problem of poverty. So almost below poverty line level, BPL level is there. You know about the BPL level is there. 30%, 40% people, they belongs to this below poverty line level. So population, unemployment is there. Unemployment, because of unemployment, main problem is about the population. Population is there because of population. Unemployment is there, and unemployment is there. That's why people, they are not getting job. Therefore, there is problem of poverty. So we discussed all these points. I hope you will understand. Next lecture, we are going to start from chapter number 1. Thank you very much.